everyone. Welcome back to the 4040 Network. We're back. Is this the first show of the year?
I guess you can say that. It is.
Am I glitching?
It is.
I said, let me know if I glitch. That blessed.
Not a glitchy.
Hold
Not
on,
a
I may have to
glitchy
switch
site.
device.
You look like you in a Garden of
Is it
Eden,
glitching? Let me know
That's
now.
it.
Oh, do I?
Yes.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Eve. Go ahead, Eve. What's going on, my melanated co-stars? What's happening today? What's going on? We got some good stuff to talk about. Yeah.
We do. Happy New Year, first of all. Happy New Year. We're talking about a few things. I am Granny, she is. And I'm going to let the fellas introduce themselves before we just jump into the topics
Jayhawk
tonight.
Jayhawk, co-star, co-host, and my man, the CEO.
Hello, world. You already know, man. It's Woe here. I am Woe. Mr. CEO, you see. That's what my title say. And
that's what my
we back to do we back to do another one. You ain't got to worry about listen. If it's cold in your area, we bring in the heat tonight.
And another one.
Church. Wait a minute.
And another one.
I don't think they heard me.
Now let me premise this first.
I said I don't think.
Let me premise this right now.
They heard me. I don't think they heard me. If the heat ain't working,
oh my God, not chirping.
Somebody pass. Somebody go ahead and pass the.
Somebody say amen.
Plate. Pass the collection plate.
Go
ahead and drop our cash out.
Hallelujah,
or Zelle. Somebody drop the cash out.
Drop that.
Or the Zelle.
Hold on, y'all.
Go ahead and do that.
So what is it? You got to pass the collection.
I got it.
Where the ushers at? We need to pass the collection.
Go ahead and Zelle the money in.
Listen, you got to see how that hand does that? You got to pass the collection plates around. Yes.
Serve the people of the internet.
Can y'all hear me? I switched mics.
Yep, there you go.
My mic sounds
it is.
nice.
You are lovely.
Looking like a professional Eve.
Not the lie, now you got the headset on and kind of look like
professional Eve. I'm trying to make sure. Oh, I love that movie. I love that freaking movie, Girl 6. That's gonna be my next. That's my next. To start the sex talk, or is the schmex talk on the phone? Hey. Do they do that anymore? Is that still a thing? The schmexual talk on the phone?
I mean, now that you can
it's on OnlyFans now. It's on OnlyFans.
FaceTime and OnlyFans.
Is it? Come on, y'all get. We don't know.
So y'all look, we got a new.
Right, so listen, I'm gonna switch devices, fellas. Just talk a little bit, and I'll be right back.
We got this. We got this. So guys, so listen up. We have a new administration.
Hold on, wait. We gotta wait for Cheryl for that one.
Oh, okay.
We gotta wait for Cheryl for that one.
Because
let's do this real quick. Let's kick the shit for a minute, man.
Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead.
Yeah.
How about them Cowboys?
I'm not going there. I'm not going there.
Man.
I'm not going there. Let me tell you something. I had a rough weekend, and you're not gonna have me be all stressed out by talking about something.
Switch teams. I'm tired of Jerry Jones. When Jerry sell the team, I'll probably come back. But until then.
But on the real, like just after the week that we've been dealing with, how you doing, man? Like, this week been rough.
It's been rough, but your boy been pulling some stuff, you know what I'm saying? I've been doing some studying. I have
because you got something you need to share with the people. They need to know who Jayhawk. Who the hell is Jayhawk?
Yeah, so I have 2 new state licenses as it stands right now. I went ahead and got re-licensed with life insurance, since that is something that's a passion of mine. So that's one. And the second license I got is actually insurance adjusters license. So I took those 2 tests, passed them there. So I'm just waiting for the actual license to come back from
What you say,
the state of
Wayne?
Texas.
You stay at the bottom right now because whatever's happening between you, your cleavage, and the camera, it's working.
Okay, I'm trying
Stay
to.
right
I'm
there at
trying
the
to
bottom.
get
You
it.
deserve solo spotlight down there.
I
Y'all
feel
think I'm
like
bullshit, don't you? You see this?
I'm. Oh shit! Oh my god! Wait a minute. Listen, y'all. I think I need to sit up a little more, right?
No, this
What Juve say? This is nation. What about you? Hey,
I'll play all day.
now go ahead and drop the cash app now.
Drop that cash app.
drop the
It's
cash out.
hashtag Cheryl Nathaniel for me personally. If y'all want to drop
I mean,
something,
hey, you know, you got the money, got to go where the entertainment's at. You know,
that's right.
I'm
Hey,
sorry, I can
drop
only
that
do so
money in
much.
here.
Beer
Yeah.
This show is about
so much.
this show is all about edutainment. But you're gonna get some education and you're definitely gonna get some entertainment.
Look, we up here sitting here like we handsome and everything. We holding it down and everything. You know, we doing our thing. And then Cheryl come through like boom. Ain't nobody even listen to us no more.
And the ratings go up.
Oh, that's what we want. We want the ratings to go up. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna be online because I want to share the media because I don't know if the media stayed or if it went away when I went away.
I see you are still linked, so you are good. Wait,
All right,
hold on.
cool.
That's hold on. Yeah, you are good.
All right. So cool beans. I'm gonna pull it up on my end because now I can't see it because I got off the main one. But here, let's get into topics. Y'all excuse our technical difficulties. I can't get the word out.
Typical
It's been a day.
2025 because it's
Oh, shit.
all kinds of stuff popping off.
I know it's been a
We got
goddamn week.
fires.
Yes. What else
We got civil servants getting fired. We have kings
fired?
amongst us.
Oh, we got
Yeah.
immigrants getting deported starting in Chicago, Illinois. Y'all didn't
Rick
know that.
Ross, Nelly, Uncle Snoop,
Oh wait, we're gonna get to it.
Soulja
Hold on.
Boy. They've all decided to bend the knee to white supremacy.
That part. So let's start at the beginning, y'all. Let's start at the beginning
do
because
it.
we got a lot. And I want to start with giving honor to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Yesterday, among other things, was Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Let's not ever forget his legacy, why we celebrate, why we're here where we're at today, because even though it's a lot of bullshit going on in this world, we do have a lot of, we've made progress in the way of us getting education, in the way of us getting our voices heard, whether you're part of the regular Black community or LGBTQ, we have come leaps and bounds. So don't let anybody tell you guys that we're moving backwards. We just have to fight to continue to move forward. And at this point, we have got to be a community.
We're getting
Above
drugged
all
backwards.
else, we
Yeah,
have got
the
to start being a
setback.
community.
Yeah, the
Right.
setback is with our rights that we have obtained.
Mhm.
And we'll talk all about that. We'll talk about that today because that's a handful.
Right.
Particularly, I want to talk to you about some things that I was privy to hear Michael Cohen, 47's old attorney, spill the beans about what's going on behind the scenes, as well as some legislation that's going to be troubling. It should be troubling for everyone, but particularly starting out troubling for our brothers and sisters who are a part of the LGBTQ community. So, with that being said, Granny, kick it off.
Yeah, go ahead and pull up that first slide, Wayne. We're gonna go in order so we can stay on top because if not, I'm gonna
that
bounce
part
around.
did change.
Oh, it did change.
That part did change.
It's okay. I'm gonna give it back to you. But Martin Luther King, let's talk about the celebrations that went on for him yesterday. Because there were Martin Luther King parades still. We still celebrated him over the entire nation. Even if you did not see that online, even if all you saw covered on the news yesterday was the inauguration, trust me, we celebrated.
Which I didn't watch.
Oh no, I didn't watch the
I didn't watch the
inauguration.
inauguration.
That's how I
didn't-
celebrated. I watched Will Trent
He said he watched
watching
Will
this
Trent.
mess.
Let's move that over.
Now I ain't gonna lie, social media was doing this damnness trying to show me what's going on, and I really wasn't trying, but I caught wind of what he said was going to happen. His day one goals, set him out there.
So when talking about Dr. King, you know, this country likes to focus on one part of Dr. King. They want to focus on the dream. The
Leave
dream.
that one backstage. Don't
The dream. And that's it. Dr. King went on a spectrum. He said a lot of things after the dream. In particular, I'm talking about, you know, stuff that got him killed. When he was ready to ask Black people to step out of corporate America, pull their money out, and put it into Black companies. That's when he was assassinated. As long as he was holding hands with white people and calling up on them to show humanity.
And sing your Negro spirituals.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he was, you know, he was a nuisance, but he was allowed to be around. But when he made a shift, his shift was more toward as an economically a boycott, or rather a boycott. Use, you know, and putting your money with Black businesses, Black insurance companies, Black. That's when that shot rang out.
We're gonna talk
ended
about
his
it.
life.
I do want to make this known.
Mhm.
This will not be the most cleanest language we will have on shows today.
Right.
Because if we just gonna be keep it a buck around here, you know, just go ahead and be transparent. Y'all my folk. It's a lot of fuckery going down. And I honestly don't know how to sugarcoat this. So
There's no
y'all
way to.
just excuse my lingo tonight.
Yeah, there is no way to sugarcoat this. Okay, I don't know. I guess MLK and the inauguration just happened to fall on the same day because the inauguration is always held. Is this the third Tuesday, the third Monday in January? And of course, Martin Luther King Day. It just fell on the same day. So we need to keep this celebration in mind. But go to that next slide for me, please.
Yes, ma'am.
This part. We didn't watch that shit.
Mm-mm.
We absolutely
Mm-mm.
we didn't watch
I
that
did-
shit.
I did not need a precursor into Project 2025. I did not need.
I'll say this. I thought it was a whole thing that we had communicated, not just between ourselves, but just really again amongst our people.
Right.
We ain't watching that. And I get we still have Black media outlets. You don't have to report on that.
No.
You don't have to blend in and go, well, we are a media outlet. Stop trying to toe the line there.
Get somebody else to do it.
And
Get
I'm
somebody
gonna
else
say
to do
this,
it.
and I love the Shade Room, but the Shade Room did more coverage on the
Man.
inauguration than they did on Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Mm.
They covered more of
Yeah.
what was said and what wasn't said versus the rappers or whoever was on there and people, and they really do need to give Chrisette Michelle an apology for when she performed back during his first inauguration, and they pretty much tried to cancel that young lady, and I still rock her music to this day. And now you have some of your
Chrisette
favorite
Michelle?
rappers. Chrisette Michelle, yeah.
No, I think Ross and Snoop and Soldier Boy and funny looking ass Nelly. I think all of them deserve the same treatment that that Chrisette got.
This boy said
You know,
funny looking ass Nelly.
Joe it is.
He said funny looking ass
Band-Aid,
Nelly.
Band-Aid wearing bastard. But anyway, what I'm saying is I have some disdain for those fellows because they chose the dollar over standing with their people. And so we shall not forget.
Oh no.
I think that's the biggest part for me that stings. If you did it, own it.
Right.
All right. Black people have sold out for way less. The
Mhm.
fact that
Look at Tim
you're
Scott
in our faces
and
and
Byron
acting
Adams.
like
They're-
we shouldn't be disappointed and we should be understanding about your terrible ass decision. Snoop sitting there acting like he's so unbothered. I seen a recent interview
Mhm.
on All the Smoke podcast. I can't remember the white guy that was on there, but he was trying to do damage control for Snoop, trying to say that it wasn't an actual Trump event. It wasn't
was.
the Trump inauguration, was his actual words. It wasn't the Trump inauguration. We know it wasn't the Trump inauguration.
He
It
was
still
dropping
was
that
tied to
coin.
Donald Trump. Donald
He
Trump
was
was supposed to, they said Trump wasn't there because he didn't show up, but he was
Mhm.
scheduled to be there.
And that's for him dropping that coin, right? Dropping that meme coin that he had, which was actually a shit coin because it's a pump and dump coin. And
All right,
people
tell us
put
more
all
about
this
the meme
money.
coin because people may not know
Oh,
what that is.
all right. So basically, this meme coin, it's basically it's like a Bitcoin, or what do they call it? Cyber. It's what kind of currency is it?
Is it like yeah, Bitcoin,
Yeah, it's like it's that type of currency. However,
digital currency?
it's a digital currency. However,
Mhm.
people put this money in it, and it went up because it made him on paper $4.5 billion on paper, made him one of the richest presidents ever in history. And then guess what happened?
What happened?
It started to plummet. It crashed, right? But all the money is locked up in it. 80% of the money goes to him. 10% goes to administration or whatever of the investment. But 80%, so if you put a dollar in, 80, eight of $100, 80 of those dollars are gonna go to him, and the rest
Him
of
as
it
in
goes
Trump?
to Mhm.
Lord, that's why we didn't watch it. But this is the takeaways from the inauguration. If you did want to be up on game, of course, his first order of business is deportation of the
Mhm.
masses, and apparently he was wanting to start in Chicago, Illinois. I mean, not Chicago, Illinois. Yeah, Chicago, Illinois. That's where he wanted to start, and he's going to move out, of course, and get to all these other states, among other things that he says he's going to do. He talked a lot of shit, and that's like his main sticking point right there. So if y'all want to know what happened there, that's what happened. I didn't watch it, and you're right. Social media did try to cram it down my throat, but thankfully, or I don't know, I don't have TikTok anymore. I had it when the ban happened, and then they unbanned it.
That's a whole nother ball game.
Let's
Oh
just
my
click on
God.
Nova. Click on Nova then. Click to the next one. He said
That's
that's
a
a
whole nother
whole
ball
nother
game.
ball game. It
And that's
is.
another Fugazi. It was so it's for those of you who really believe that Trump saved TikTok. I have some swampland in California to sell you. It's perfect for you, right? Because what Biden did was he told the founder of TikTok and the people who are the administration at TikTok that he was not going to enforce that ban. He was not going to do it. But what TikTok does is they say, hey, we're going to go dark a day early.
Right.
And they went dark and shut everything off. And they come back and say, oh, thank the Savior Trump for bringing us back. He wasn't even president yet. How could he have done that? It baffles me that people would believe this charade.
Well, here's the thing. It went off before it went offline. They said that it was going to go dark Sunday, and for the users who were on the app, they're going to be able to remain on the app. And then, but new users wouldn't be able to download the app or get any new updates. So they went down temporarily, and then it came back up 12 hours later, but there were still certain functions you couldn't do on TikTok. If you did like me and you deleted the app and then you went and tried to reinstall the app, it's still no longer available in the app store, in the Apple Store, or on Play Store. It's not available in any of those. that app will not be receiving any more updates.
Let
Not
me
regularly. It's
dive
going to
in.
still become destable unless, of course, they sign it over. Now, I watched T.S. Madison and Craig the writer. They, believe it or not, they really highlight some interesting things. And this is what Craig the writer had to say. He said that he believes that during that 12-hour period, they were in the process of migrating from the TikTok original servers to some American server to already begin transferring the data that TikTok holds. Right? And that's crazy because what they want to do is censor and censor our freedom of speech. Our First Amendment right is what's really being targeted there. Because why not, as other people have stated, why not also ban Temu? Why not also ban Shein? Because Shein and Temu isn't allowing Americans to see for themselves the unfiltered truth about other parts of the country. We would have never gotten the truth about Palestine had we not seen it with our own eyes that they were murdering those people Israel were. We would have never saw
Mhm.
that. And now the backlash of canceling TikTok is like most of those larger creators are moving over to the actual Chinese app RedNote. And so I did. I went head on over to RedNote, and the China that we've been propagandized to believe is evil and wicked, and 100 a military percent a military company, and they're these evil, wicked people. Their citizens look a whole lot like us, living very regular lives, except their technology is maybe 25 years in the future.
China emphasizes that. But let me
That
dive
shit
in
is
real quick.
wild. Go ahead.
So pay attention to the partnerships that have been building.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the biggest backers for, we're not gonna say his name, I'm gonna call him Thump.
T-Rump.
No.
Or you can call him Frump. But anyway, that guy, he had Elon Musk on his side. Elon on too. On what? Excuse me.
Elongated muskrat. Okay.
He owns X, aka Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
There was also Mark Zuckerberg. That's the owner of the Meta Universe, Facebook, Instagram.
Right.
Now, when you think about it, Facebook, Instagram, X, as nice of apps as they are, the big dog that came in stomping was TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
TikTok really put everybody on.
Really
TikTok allowed people to get the information that other people were trying to hide. TikTok went dark at the behest of Frump.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
He who shall not be
cool,
named.
but it's the reality. And then came back saying, thanks to President Trump, we'll be back soon. Now I just got this notice that says Instagram will be paying TikTok creators thousands of dollars to post on their platform.
Yeah, because that's the trendsetter. TikTok is the trendsetter. Not only did go ahead. I'm sorry.
But here's the thing. So they have an actual thing through Meta where you can apply to the Breakthrough Bonus Program, and it earns up to $5,000. If you're in a race against Usain Bolt, okay, and you know you can't beat him, how do you win? You got to trip him up. You got to slow him down. That's exactly what they have done with TikTok. They have slowed them down now, and they are finna flood the market. That's why you can't go back and add TikTok again. You're gonna add to the numbers. You can't go back and add it now. For everybody who deleted it, it's a loss. So TikTok numbers are steady plummeting while everybody else is steady trying to rise. They already got plans in position to go ahead and bring everybody over, incentives and everything, because everybody wants this money grab. And this is how Zuckerfuck is gonna win. Him, Elon Musk, who also got a public acknowledgement to be able to travel to Mars. They're getting everything they want right in front of our eyes.
Of course.
Everything that they said was going to happen is happening.
Yep. I mean, but they told us, and people didn't want to believe it. I've argued with people who were so intellectually smart about, oh, Project 2025, that's not Trump. He would never. Oh, he has denounced it. He doesn't even know those people.
Okay. And let's
Okay.
not forget, didn't he call for the ban of TikTok originally?
That's what I said. He started the
He
whole
did.
thing.
He
Mhm.
did. He did. He
He
did.
called for, he's like, yeah, now let's just bring it all back. But it's more just to control and propagandize the
Mhm.
American citizens. And what's really sad, unfortunately, you have people, 7 million Americans who built very legitimate businesses on TikTok and
Yeah.
were making money from it. And this is the thing that I've come to pull out with TikTok. If you have a business on TikTok, you were not paying your 1099 self-employment taxes to said IRS. So now that TikTok is going to be integrated, and let's just go ahead and call that what it is, it will be integrated into American social media. You will receive a 1099 tax form in the mail to file past years on the money you've made on TikTok. The government is not going to let y'all walk without paying them. They're going to get their cut. So do expect that to come
Got to pay the pimp.
next year. You got to pay the pimp.
Thank
So
you.
for those of
Always.
you who have made the money on TikTok, those 7 million businesses, to congratulations to you. Please put some money aside for when they hit you with that 1099 on your
It's gonna
TikTok
hurt.
profits. Okay.
They coming in hard.
They coming for it. This
I
is one of the
migrated over
reasons.
to fan base. So if you
Mhm.
guys
You
Hey,
have
no,
heard
Mike,
of fan
I'm
base,
there. IMO Media Group is definitely there.
Okay.
So when y'all need to see, matter of fact, there actually will be no more posting on our IMO Media Group Instagram page. I'm only really truly
Mhm.
just leaving that up for anybody else who may follow us and don't know. But the link to our
Right.
fan base is on that page. But we have officially migrated to fan base.
Fan
IMO
base.
Supporting network is right
Podcast will
behind.
be migrating to fan base.
Yeah.
I'm really trying to pull myself out the meta world
Me
altogether.
too. Me too.
The Underground Sports Kings Twitter page. That was our hardcore where we can get all the latest news going on in sports.
Mhm.
Done. Especially after I saw this right here.
Oh yeah, the whole
When I saw that,
Nazi salute.
I ain't even gonna be slow about this. I was dragging my feet a little bit.
Mhm.
Let's shut this down.
We're not dragging our feet now. And think
shut
about
it
it.
down.
People are online trying to call it a Roman salute. Let's call a spade a fucking spade.
Yep.
Okay.
You can't.
Let's call a
Hey,
spade a
you
spade.
can't pee on. You can't pee on me and then try to.
Right, there were
You
actual
say anything.
Germans who
Right.
were saying, "What did I just see?"
On national
Mhm.
TV. And
They-
there's people in the crowd
they-
clapping. What?
People in Australia.
because-
If you do that, they made it known. If you actually do that publicly, you will be arrested for that.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
He
No
did
way
it.
in the
He did
world
it with
this is
look. He
happening
did
right
it
in
with
front of
his
our eyes.
whole, with his whole heart, with his whole
Yep.
chest. He did that. Okay, sir.
So this person, elongated muskrat, grew up in apartheid South
South
Africa,
Africa. Mm-hmm.
where he made most of his money. His father made most of their money in a segregated part where white nationalism was the right of the land.
Mm-hmm.
Of course he wants that. Of course he's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be, he has bought the presidency because you have a feeble old man who will let you have whatever you want if you flatter him
Right, and he knows that.
and buy him things. And he's done just that. He has bought a country and he's
Mm-hmm. And then
everything
a
he
couple things
wants,
with that.
he's
Oh,
gonna
Lord.
get.
What's crazy is it's not, and I told my children this years
Mhm.
ago, it's not coming down to black and white. It's not coming down to race or ethnic groups. It's coming down to the haves and the have-nots. It's
Simple as
a
that.
really clear line that's being drawn here. Yeah, what you call it, intersectionality. My Gen Zer just hit me with a big ass word. Intersectionality.
Intersectionality.
That, yes.
Intersectionality.
Racism and classism go hand in hand. That's her simple
Mhm.
definition. Thank you. I'm so glad I got this little intelligent young lady sitting behind me because
Is that Riv? Is that
that's
Riv?
Micaiah. We have to have Micaiah
Hey,
on.
Kaya.
Hello. She said hello, everybody. She's on
Hey.
Substack now and Substack. See, I don't even know. She's on Substack now, and she's talking about all of these socioeconomic issues we're having, these racial issues, political issues. She's starting to talk about them. And this is my introverted child. Now, this is someone who's in the house all the time for the most part.
Sorry,
But
Kaya. Put it
she's
out there.
on
Put it out there.
she's putting it out there now. So we're going to promote her when she gets out a little bit more. Intersectionality is what's happening.
I
That's
love it.
exactly what's happening. So we need to take a quick break, you
All
guys.
right.
And
All
we will
right.
be back momentarily.
Welcome to an experience with All That Jazz Entertainment House, where you get great customer service, great establishment, great leadership, great staff. Did we mention the catering, the ambiance, the vibe? All of this stems with great cocktails, great mixes, great mixologists, with a great leader. All That Jazz Entertainment House. Contact Randy Glover for booking. Looking for great music and dope podcasts? BWNC Radio is where it's at. Black with No Chaser Radio. Download the app now. Come for the dope podcast. Stay for the dope music. Also available on Apple Stores and Google Play Stores.
All right, we are back. You saw the advertisement, BWNC Radio, which this show will be airing on tomorrow, and we will also be on all streaming platforms the following day. So you can listen to the 4040 Network wherever you get your podcast. Also support All That Jazz Catering Service. She's also a member of I Am World Media Group, and she has her own podcast, Dylan's Dive Bar. So please support that. You will see the link below in the description box on the I Am World Media Group's YouTube page.
Matter of fact,
So cool. Mhm.
she actually is getting ready to ramp up. Dylan will be back live in full effect in March.
All right.
But right now, we are running the refills, if you get it,
Okay.
to show some of her favorite episodes of the past couple of seasons. So if you need to get back reacclimated with Dylan's Dive Bar, tune in on Thursdays. The refills are playing, they are flowing. So dive
Very
in.
good. Okay, and one quick other announcement, 1-800-resumes.com is back and in full effect. I am about to be really putting my heart and soul into my own personal business, which is 1-800-resumes LLC. We're about to go full tilt with that. So you will start seeing me reach out. I'm going to do email campaigns. I'm like Wayne, I'm about to get off Meta. 1-800-resumes, you can find it in other places. So look for the advertisements for that coming soon. Back to the topic at hand. Where were we? TikTok ban. Is that what we were talking
We
about?
were talking about the fuckery that goes on with the social media and what they are trying to make us believe.
Right.
Oh Lord.
This is the
Let me take some
thing.
more coffee here.
We have, it seems, a very polarizing America. And we've been knowing this for a while. It's blatant. It's been now since Trump's first term, which is literally a decade ago, now almost until now. So we see the polarization and we come here to this world and we're indoctrinated by the people who love us, right? And unfortunately, when we become adults, some of us never grow beyond that ideology, that one-dimensional thinking. And then we have people who are stuck in a mentality and they trust the government. I don't know what crazy delusional space people live in where they really, really think the government is here to support them. I really don't get that because it's been proven over and over and over again, no matter who we put in office, they don't really support nor care about the citizens.
I think you just did it, Cheryl. You used a key word there. You said the word support.
Right.
Let me tell you where we live in a land, in a country, where support is usually it usually revolves around financial support.
Mhm.
So people tend to feel safe when they're in the hands of someone who has money. They always feel like if you got money, for some reason, we have some sense of entitlement.
Mhm.
Mm.
If you got money, that means we good, right? Right? That's why they voted for that man. That man ain't nothing, everything about him screams, go the opposite direction.
Yes, it does.
Mhm.
However, his wallet is bigger than most presidents have ever. I think he is the richest president we've ever had.
Yeah.
But so because of that, and they see his name tied and everything, Trump this, Trump that, Trump this, Trump that,
Mhm.
they automatically assume it's successful. And because he knows business and he comes from money and he knows, so you got money, so we good, right?
He
Okay.
got
Listen, that
money.
man is out here worried about the genders. He's worried about the LGBTQ community. He's worried about everything else. Meanwhile, when have you ever paid this much for eggs? Ain't that what y'all said y'all was aiming for? Y'all wanted to
Yeah,
vote
they said
because he
it.
could bring the price
They
down,
wanted
right?
cheaper eggs.
I just walked in the store and paid $5 for a carton of
I
eggs.
bet you did. And he
I'm not
came right
exaggerating.
on
I'm not
before
exaggerating.
before
It's
he
cheaper to
even
get
got
to
in
get some chickens
office.
and get your own eggs and get some
Right.
coop.
But I'm not
cheaper overall.
exaggerating. I paid $5 for a carton of eggs.
Mhm. Oh no, I
When
believe
did
you.
eggs cost more than gas?
Mm.
I don't know, but they do. And here's the thing: trickle down economics is a myth. It's never a thing. I don't care how rich your president is. That millions and billions of dollars will not trickle down to your bank account.
It will not.
In what world do we live in where that will ever happen? If you don't get out and work for it yourself and get a few coins in your pocket, you won't have coins in your pocket.
See, that was a Reagan. That was a Reagan phenomenon, which was all. It's been proven false
Reaganomics.
Yeah,
over and
it's
over
not even
again.
true.
Trickle down. It just
Ain't no
does
trickle down.
not
It,
work.
No.
you know how we grew up with our parents. When you be like, you go and say we got money, and your parents look at you and go, no, we got money.
Right.
Y'all broke.
Y'all broke.
We
Y'all
got
don't have nothing.
jobs. Y'all
Right.
don't. So we got money. Y'all broke. And
Y'all
that
don't
is
have nothing.
honestly how this country is working. Y'all not getting it, America. You keep saying Trump, y'all got money, we good, right? Trump like, we got money.
Right.
See me, Elon Zuckerberg over here? We got money. Y'all don't.
Zuckerberg over here.
But okay.
Mhm.
MAGA.
So
Gonna
am
let
I
y'all
listening?
pretend. Mhm.
Am I listening to Michael Cohen yesterday? He was, he had a nice little conversation, and he was speaking about, people who were making big money in New York and places, and he was like, there are people who are making $500,000 a minute.
Mhm.
It took me hard. It took me a moment to actually cap.
Say that again?
He said it a few times. $500,000
A minute.
a minute.
What's minimum wage in this country?
I don't even know no more.
I don't even know.
Y'all do know they just asked the man on Capitol Hill about that, and he told them, "No, I don't think we should budge on that."
Yeah, he don't care.
But he's like, growing up, if you had $10 million in the bank, you were closer to the 1% than the man on the street who's homeless. But today, if you had $10 million in the bank, you are closer to being like the homeless man than the top 1% in this country. So let's go back to let's talk about the disenfranchisement. Did you know there's legislation right now that is being proposed, and this is for our LGBTQIA people, to follow the same critique, the same legislation they did with abortion, and to implement it where there's no more federal protection for the right of for all people to get married, and to take that and put it back with the states and let your state decide whether or not you have a right to get married.
Yeah.
What happened to the gays for Trump again? I don't hear them.
I don't know. I think they're trying to do this thing where it rolls back to where there's only like two genders. Like you have to choose
Oh
a
yeah.
woman or a man or a male or a
Oh yeah.
female. Like they're
Right.
rolling the rights back to where you can't choose if you want to be like non-binary or
Mhm.
transgender. They're trying to I don't know, trying. He said he's got the power to decide what he wants to do with that law. And it's crazy because our Supreme Court is no longer our Supreme Court. The weather is fucking crazy. We're going to talk about that in a minute.
Bruh, the
We're
country
living
was
in an
divided
upside
in
down.
fire and ice.
Yeah, let's look at
Mm.
that. Hit that next slide. I think that's the next thing. Look at that, two screenshots on there.
Mm.
One half is on freaking fire. And the other half is frozen. Florida, it's snowing in parts of Florida too, just in case you didn't know. I'm in the deep south. It hadn't snowed this hard in my part of Louisiana
We don't
since
believe
I was a
in
little
global
girl,
warming.
40 years ago.
Winter is coming. Jon Snow.
It's like we're in Narnia. It's like we're in Narnia on this end of the world, and it feels like the White Queen, the White Witch, has taken over, and there is no king to save anybody. Narnia is
Mm.
frozen. We're in a frozen
So
tundra. And then over here in Pacific Palisades in California, and the fires I checked today are spreading into the San Diego area.
mm,
Now I talked to a guy. I went to a live music, I went to watch a man sing live, and after the show, he come talk to us, and he's from Connecticut. And so we got to talking about the fires in Pacific Palisades, and he was saying, they were talking about wanting to build a smart city in that area because the Olympics are coming at some point. And I was like, oh, I heard something about that, but I didn't put the two together. And he was like, well, this is just my conspiracy theory that I'm going to, put
mm,
out
Ain't not
here.
wrong.
He said, but they're burning the very area that they said they wanted to put a smart city in. And as we've already pointed out, they'll tell you what they're going to do first and then they'll do it. So apparently 6 years ago, Hawaii was on fire. A part of Hawaii was on fire. In that area
uh-huh.
6 years ago, where that Hawaii was on fire, is now one of these smart cities that they're talking about.
Mm.
And I didn't look too much into it, but and I was in there drinking and having a good time. My heart did a little flip flop because that's my spirit saying he ain't probably lying, girl. There might be a little truth to that down the
Mm.
line, but we're not going to see it now. We may not see that until 5 or 6 years down the line.
I'm going to add a little bit more to that. What's going
Yeah.
on also in California right now is even though California has passed a law now trying to forbid insurance companies from pulling out, some of them already have pulled out. So
Mhm.
now you have
That was some
homeowners
bullshit.
insurance. You're right. You paid your premium
Mhm.
for your homeowner's insurance, expecting that if anything happened to your biggest investment, which is your house, that you would be compensated, right?
Mhm.
Because that's what you pay premiums, right? Right? It's that's the reason why. And now you have these companies, some of them that are saying, you know what? They're dragging their feet, they're denying claims. That's called bad faith, right?
Yeah,
That's
that
called
happens.
bad faith. And look, if that's what's going on, look at all the people who are going to lose their hard-earned money, lose their homes, won't have anything. They can't rebuild because they won't have any money. So what happens to that property?
Mm-hmm.
It goes up for
auction.
auction, and
Yeah.
whoever investors come in because it's going to be dirt cheap.
Mm-hmm.
And come right in and sweep it up and
Can
be
I
able to
ask
do
you a
everything.
question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Who are you, or who do you become when everything you believed in that you thought was the base of what life was, you found out it's not real? Who do you really become?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think they're understanding, and I really want y'all to think on it. And I would like to hear your responses to it.
Okay.
But I'm saying this because we're told we have to grow up, become adults, buy land, buy houses, get insurance on this, pay taxes.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta, be responsible for your family, your children, and things like. Make sure they go to the best of the best schools and this. and then you find out that you got a government that doesn't want to fund education anymore. You have a situation where you find out taxes is pretty much a favoritism thing, like based on whatever money you kind of make, you can probably get away from this. It's really not as big a deal as you think it is, yet you can still go to jail. Insurance you can pay into, but we tired of paying for all the mess that keep happening. We just gonna take the money and run. What do you understand now? I firmly believe war within this civil war is coming.
It's
Because
possible.
it is. It's going to
it's
be a
possible.
breaking point. Think about
But
it.
it's
Go
not
ahead,
going to be what
Jonathan.
we think it is. See, we thought, I ain't gonna lie, I grew up from the South. I thought Civil War would eventually mean it's going to be us versus them, if y'all get what I'm saying.
Yeah, but it's not.
I think that us has now shifted.
Right.
Right.
And it's going to become a classism thing.
Right.
The elitist, the high class or whatever, versus
Working class.
It's already starting.
The haves and have-nots.
It's
the
already
working class
starting.
versus the elite class.
Think about
But you
right
see
now.
what happened to do for United Healthcare, right?
Yeah, exactly. What he got
I'm not
Luigi.
saying that that's going to continue to happen, but you do understand
It might.
the more dirt that has been coming out, finding out the millions of dollars that was denied to cancer patients.
That's the very definition of acting in bad faith. And even if you file, you should have attorneys file bad faith lawsuits against that company for that. But the real issue you have is they have deeper pockets and they can keep that case going and drain you of your funds to where you have to fold. That's the real issue.
But this is not new. They did the same thing when Katrina hit. Katrina hit.
Katrina was one territory. It affected just Louisiana. Now
but the insurance companies did that same thing. They pulled out. They didn't pay. They denied claims.
The area that's happening is way bigger. And like I said, it is not just what happened in Cali. We still had other weather issues going on, natural disasters happening around the world. And then, like I said, when you're starting to look at why am I working and I can't afford food? Why am I working and I'm the bills that I'm trying to pay, they just gonna rob me on? Why am I? So that's why I want to hear from you, Sher, specifically. Who does a person become when you find out everything that you thought you could believe in and trust in, you find out it's a lie?
Your foundation becomes shaken.
They force people they radicalize people. I mean, the governments are thinking TikTok is going to radicalize people. No, you and your policies and your neglect and you taxing the people to the point they can't even afford to pay taxes. And my wages aren't going up, but my eggs are $5 a carton and my milk is $9.50 for a gallon. And I got 5 miles to feed and I can barely get freaking food stamps from you people.
Man,
they're gonna bring out the anger in people, and it's gonna be Versailles all over again. It's gonna be, I don't know who's gonna play the part of the Antoinette, but when she told those people let them eat bread or let them eat cake, and they were already starving and overtaxed,
they
that's
took
America
her head.
now.
They took her head.
That's America now. And who do you think they're gonna go after? When it all comes down to it, that movie Idiocracy was on point. We didn't think it was a documentary. We didn't think it was telling us the future. That was a fortune-telling movie. The minute that T-Rump cannot continue to provide all these false-ass promises to these people, they're going to turn on him.
That's right.
And it's going to cause us to have a separation of class. Elites versus people who, and it's kind of happening now because you have people over there in California, rich people, celebrities who have money, who are losing everything, and the rest of the world is kind of like, and they're making, I saw an SNL skit on it the other night. I'm thinking they're making light of it because those people had money. So the people who are working class people are like, yeah, that sucks for them, but hey, they can rebuild, they have money. We don't necessarily know that, but the attitude towards people who are rich when you are over here working, and we've seen their glamorous lifestyles on TV. No one's feeling sorry for them. Now, mind you, it's regular working people over there who's also been burned out. So let's not forget
It is.
it's regular
So-
people over there too.
So check this out. So when last time I was in,
That's my
in
take.
LA, the last time I was in LA, I had the chance to. I went with a friend of mine, she's an amazing agent in LA. If you guys in LA, you need something, whatever, you're watching this, I'll refer her to you. She took me to this $9.5 million flip. It's a flip, $9 million, and it was gorgeous. It was up in the hills. And I'm thinking, if fire destroys it, because it was gorgeous, right? Casita in the back, workout. It was amazing. It's the best thing I've ever seen. Who has $9 million just, and the insurance company doesn't pay, right? Even if you're successful, you have $9 million just laying around. That's just for the home. We're not even talking about the contents inside. Who has that money just laying around?
That person making 500,000
a minute.
Yeah, they do, but not. But even if you're in California, you're working hard, and you're doing this, and you have a successful job, and you don't have we're not even going to talk about what it would take to haul the debris off.
Dog. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. These high class problems or whatever, I can't even try to relate to it. Again, my frustration when I looked up, I said, "How much did we spend at the grocery store?" Damn, hold on, we still got to pay what bills there?
Now let's bring it home. I'm glad you brought that up.
I can't relate to shit like that. And so that's when I go, like I said, that's why I asked the question that I did ask. Because I'm like, I don't think they understand truly what they build. And that's our guy Ross. What's up, Ross?
I said Ashley. I can see it.
That's for the Ashley 54. Check us out. Now, I'm gonna hit y'all with something. And if our people who are watching chip in, when we were in school, middle school, high school, how many of us were taught what kind of investments to put our money in so that we would have to work past retirement age?
Hell no.
Oh, wait.
Nobody.
Okay. How many of us were taught what a traditional or a Roth IRA was?
None of us.
Oh, okay. All right. I got one better. If we even had insurance, did they tell you what the right kind of insurance was, or the best way to save your money for a rainy day? Or was that just...
Do you know there are people still who try to figure out, I got homeowners insurance, so that should cover me, right? Do you live in Louisiana? You got to have homeowners and you got to have flood. And you got to have hurricane insurance.
I'm about to say wind insurance. Hurricane, you better have the wind insurance. You got to have actual specific
insurance.
Oh, it becomes an endorsement in Louisiana. It's an endorsement.
Yes, you got to have wind insurance. You got to have fire. You got to have flood, and you got to have home insurance.
That's crazy because,
they very specific about that.
On top of that, you got to have property
and your house. And your houses, especially like when I was in Slidell, they was like, "No, we're not approving no house that's not elevated."
Very true.
See,
it's the same now.
Any newly built home had to be an elevated home.
So I think the first step for us, where we are in our community, is financial literacy, because it infuriates me to see people who are living so far beyond their means. They have a dadgum one of them ugly ass cars from elongated Muskrat, and they live in a hole in the wall.
Oh, them Tesla trucks.
Yeah, the ones that look like they came from Minecraft or something.
Nah, it didn't start with Tesla. Let's just be honest with you. Our priorities
No. It didn't start. No, it started a long time ago. But
because I'm like, I remember seeing the Benzes outside the hood apartments.
Exactly. It's a symptom of the sickness.
Like we have a it is a sickness. It's called
financial illiteracy.
It's
keeping up with the Joneses.
Keeping up with the Joneses right there always cripples
will
us.
Keep you broke.
That crabs
because
in the
Jones are broke too.
That's what also hurts us too, because I see you in the Benz, and then all of a sudden, oh, well, I got to get me one too. Matter of fact, I need to get one better. Sir, you got a hole in your floor. What you mean you need to focus on? Why you worried about a Benz? Because your neighbor got a Benz. My priorities are, well, they don't know I got a hole in the floor. I do. I live here. It's cold. Like, you can't tell people, like, they don't hear that. It's all about public perception. That's why I said, you look at the rich people, they don't look rich. They could give a fuck about perception. In fact, they don't want you to know that they have money. I don't know if you saw the game, Jayhawk, but the AJ Brown for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Pulled up in there
because he pulled up to the game in a Honda Accord. And when people thought about it, he was like, that might be smart. He can get through traffic. Ain't nobody even gonna know that. Exactly. That's the whole point. You ain't got to stand out. I can give a damn what the public say about me. But when I need to make a move, can I make a move? That's when you know you're good. That's why I've always told people, I don't never want to be rich. I don't want to be rich. I want to be wealthy. When I need to do something, I can do it.
When you need to write that check, you can write that check.
Not only for me, but my folk. If you call me today, say, Cheryl, I'm in a bind, say less.
Right.
That's wealthy. I can.
Right. That
I got you. And I don't need to go out here. Hey, man, look, I took care of my girl. You know what? Get online. Hey, what's up, Facebook? I took care of my girl today.
Yeah. None of that.
Holding money to your ear. Like, what is that? Check us out.
I don't know what that is.
So check us out. And sometimes we use things like we pimp ourselves. So I went to college. I went to Alcorn in Jackson State. So at Alcorn, I met a fellow by the name of John Theory. John was an amazing individual as a person. He played for Alcorn. He graduated with a 4.0 in chemistry pre-med. Now, he did not want to go to the draft at all. He didn't want to play football past college. He wanted to be a doctor. Graduated with a 4.0 GPA is amazing in playing football and starting. That is crazy, okay? But his mama told him, and the only way I know this because I heard this from his own mouth, because he would come and see us after playing pro. He would drive up to see us, talk to us in our room. He said, his mama said, look, baby, I ain't got no money to send you to med school. Why don't you go ahead and play football, send your money home and everything else, and we'll get you, we get you. He entered the draft, played for the Bears, started with the Bears. He made a lot of good money, but he would come in the off season. He would come and talk to us. He was in my room because he knew me and he knew my roommate. And he would say, it's so many people that are broke because they did not know. These are players in the off season. They are broke as hell because they had no money management system. Nobody ever taught them anything. As soon as they got a check from playing, they would run and spin it. They trick it off. They in the clubs. They had no way of saving. What he did, the majority of his money, he sent home to his mama. His mama kept his money for him all those years. Now, my man never did end up going to med school.
I've heard a bunch of those conversations. And those conversations, you can see some of and they're mostly athletes, so they're tough. Mentally, some of the strongest, physically, some of the strongest people you would ever
absolutely
meet. And then when you hear them talk about the money matters that they've gone through, and it's usually tied into family,
right?
Family and friends. I have heard some of those same strong, physically, mentally strong men cry like babies because how the family leached off them and broke them. Because again, that whole sense of entitlement I was talking about earlier, it came out. Well, you got money, so we good, right?
We ain't cool. We don't.
We didn't go out here. What Kobe said, you wasn't women shooting in the gym.
Exactly.
And I was out here busting my ass, working my ass off, trying to become the best of the best. You wasn't with me. Yeah, you might have called, said, hey man, everything good with you, but you wasn't out here breaking this sweat with me. You wasn't out here killing yourself with me. You are not entitled to any of this. And unfortunately, we're raised off of, hey man, if I come up, you come up too, bro.
Right.
Now his mama kept money like that.
Now his mama did keep his money for him. She didn't spend it.
That's just rare.
That's rare
when it comes to athletes and their money. Mama's protecting them.
Mhm.
Mama's
I know many
protecting it.
players who were saved because of that.
Mhm.
Because there are
That's right.
players who only are allowed to spend money on the endorsement money, but
Mhm.
their actual contracts in the pros, mama say,
Mhm.
don't touch that money.
Don't touch that money.
And when they finally retired, that money was sitting over there, those hundreds of millions of dollars waiting on you to turn around and invest and do whatever you got to do. Now, not every mother is like that, though. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Now, I'm gonna finish this story and tell you what happened to John. Did John ever go to med school? He did not.
Mhm.
All of the abuse his body, and he would he would complain to us that his body hurt
Sir, I'm gonna need you to
all
learn
the
how to spell that
time.
man's name. You
Right?
spell that. You spell a woman's name.
Yep. All of that time. So he died prematurely after he
What?
left the pro. He died like 2 or 3 years after he left the pros because of whatever happened to him in the pros, whatever it took such a toll on his body. He left this earth. He
Amen.
never got a chance to
Dang, that's
experience
crazy.
living life.
That's why they talk about what
After the
happens to those
pros.
boys. Because what it takes to be on that field, I'll say this because I know we got to move on. We never really talk sports, but
Yep.
biggest thing they always tell you in the world of sports, they always ask you, are you hurt or are you injured?
Mhm.
Right.
If you're injured, you got to go sit down. That's going to require surgery. It's going to require some kind of maintenance to your body, and you cannot play. Broken leg, broken ribs, dislocated ankles, shit like that. And they're going to ask you, are you injured? You got broken finger? You want to tape it up? Ronnie Lott has a story. He broke his finger in the game. They say, oh, it's broke. You're going to have to sit out the rest of the game. Wasn't even a playoff game.
Mhm.
You want to sit out the rest of the game. Ronnie said, cut it off. Cut it off, pad it up, tape it up, went back out there on the field. He got half a pinky right now because he was tough. This is what I'm trying to tell you. The things that they put their bodies through just to be able to do this, and you think you entitled to that?
Yeah, you're not. You're not.
Do y'all ever seen Michael Jordan hand? That finger don't move. When he talk, that thing is locked like this. It is locked like that. That's it.
And let's just
You know
say
what?
this. And this goes beyond sports. This is for anybody. I put a post on my Facebook page the other day that says, listen, just because you see me getting a bit of success online, or just because you think that I am living some type of lifestyle, I got it for me and mine. I got it for me and mine. Don't hit me with that, hey, big money, let me hold something. What we have over here is what we are earning for ourselves and our children. We're creating legacy for us. You can be my cousin. You could be whatever. Best. This is not for you. I love you, but I'm going to need you to go get yours. And that's even when we become even more successful.
I'm glad
This
you
is
brought
not
that
to
up.
hand out to the masses. It's
I'm glad
not.
you brought
You're
that up.
not entitled.
Look, she's
won't.
speaking on behalf of these people back here. Thank you. Go
Right.
ahead. Preach that sermon. Because
Amen.
if y'all think just because we on these cameras or whatever, I mean, I know we ain't got no big audience right now, but at the same
Right.
time, people see us
Not yet.
and they're not watching too. But they see us and they think,
coming.
oh man, y'all must really be doing something. Yeah, what's up, big time? I know you got it. Anytime anybody call you big time, big dog, anything like that, they
Put your
trying to-
hands on your pockets.
you know what I mean?
Put your hand.
What up, big dog?
Mhm.
Move
So-
away from me.
So the question I bring is, what do we do to change this? Because at first it has to be an awareness. Our people have to know something about financial
I'm drawing a
literacy.
line. Can I be honest?
And if they don't know, where can they go to learn?
I'm drawing a line, and this is where I'm at. Because I'm 42 years on this earth, right? Don't take a rocket science to figure this out. There are some people who don't want to know. There's a
Right.
difference between flat out being ignorant because you never learned it, and then being ignorant because you choose not to know. At that point in time, you're no longer even ignorant. You're just a flat out fool because you know the information is there. You just don't want it.
Yeah,
So when you at that point in
willfully
time,
ignorant.
we can talk preaching this, preaching pro-black, and showing this and showing that. They not going to fall in line.
Until you feed them. Until
So
they have to know how to
only
feed
thing I'm here
themselves.
for is the ones who want it, the
Yep.
ones who are about growth, the ones who are about evolution, the ones who are about their people. But there are some people who are so far gone, and I don't care what your skin complexion. Yes, I am speaking to my own as well. But they are so far gone, we can't save everybody.
Nope.
Yep. Well, you know,
We
Jesus preached to everybody, but not everybody accepted him, and he was.
Why
He
they say,
was,
that's why you heard me every minute just jump and say, if I could just save one.
Right.
And it shouldn't be like that, because I'm speaking to so many people. Everybody don't want it. It also
they
comes
don't.
back to what we do on these shows. Do you know the gems we drop on here?
Mhm.
Everybody know what we doing, but everybody don't want it. And that's fine with me. That's fine with me. But when we get there, don't hit me with the, hey, what's up, big time?
But also, if there those of you out there, if you want a game plan to get, I mean, seriously, I'm not talking about, you know, somebody, not, if you seriously want a game plan to help you guys get to the next level financially, I'll drop some gems. Reach out here on the show. We'll help you. I'll help give you the knowledge. Right now, what you do with it is up to you.
That's what it goes.
But you're gonna have to reach out. I'll extend my hand when you reach me. When you reach out. And that's my promise to the audience.
Ross, I'm hitting you with the Don Cheadle right now. I'm hitting you with the Don Cheadle right now. That's all I know. And yes, I know you've been here, bro, and we appreciate you supporting us through this, man. Ross actually gives good feedback as well too.
Thank you, Ross. Appreciate it.
Man, he does a good job supporting. Man, share those links, share those, that, you know, all the information, man. Share it. Because we out here, we working. Like I said, bro, we're not just on here just to hear our voices. We don't do that for that. There are extra people who want this information, and we're gonna give it to them. I ain't gonna stop myself doing God's work because the masses, you know, like I told you, everybody ain't gonna go. Everybody ain't gonna want it. But I understand.
Everybody say, Lord, Lord, ain't going to heaven.
I ain't saying I'm a preacher or nothing like that, but I know what I know. I've experienced what I experienced, and so have the people with me. That's why we all on these shows. I know right now, I can tell you all day long, I know how to make money and pay bills. I listened to a woman last night. She was saying where she dropped the ball at, because she was really trying to climb the ranks professionally. And she said, what she dropped the ball at is, I was trying to take care of my people and have everybody on. And what I didn't realize is when I got $1 million in my hand, I didn't have the right people around me to help actually manage it. You have to run $1 million business, you have to have people who know how to run $1 million business.
Yep.
Like, and that was my mistake. I dropped the ball. I lost out on everything for everybody because of that.
You know what? That sounds like MC Hammer bringing the whole neighborhood on, and he goes broke. Right?
Yeah, you can't do it. You can't do it. Now, I hear you 100% on this one right here, Ross. You are right. Team is definitely important. That's how we do what we do. You feel me? Like, but that's why I say you got to know who your team is. I ain't just having everybody on the team because they got a jersey.
Yep. You got to play a part.
Doing that.
Together, we all win.
We not doing that. Like I said, you could say you part of the team when you working with the team. If you in practice with the squad, you sweat blood, sweat, and tears out here, then you team. You show up for every game. You show up for every game. You show, you know, that's supportive. People who support, that's a team. Even when it's inconvenient, you still show up. That's a team. I'm not going to just have people on my team because we got the last name. I'm not going to have people on my team because we got the same skin color. I ain't doing it. When you learn better, you do better.
Amen.
Yep. Speaking of which,
all right.
Where we headed, Granny?
Can y'all hear me? Because my phone died.
Yep, we definitely hear you. You are back in the fold.
My
Wait.
phone died. I'm like, what the fuck?
Emma, come in, Cleo.
I'm clear. I see myself. I look good. I
Okay.
look fly. I look good.
All
Let's
right,
switch over now.
good.
Let's switch over and get to our main topic, Malcolm versus Martin. In this
Mhm.
crazy world that we live in, let me tell you, I have started watching the show. This is my setup, so give me a minute. I started watching the show Godfather of Harlem on Hulu. If y'all want to know where that's streaming at, it's on Hulu. And Malcolm X is his storyline show, which is crazy. It put things into perspective for you. Malcolm started as a gangster, actually did time with Bumpy Johnson, another real character in the story of life.
They were good friends.
Malcolm, they were very good friends, and Malcolm was always so real with Bumpy. Helped Bumpy's daughter get kick the habit. You know, I don't know if the story is following it verbatim because it tells you some of this has been exaggerated at the beginning, but some of the events are very true with him being assassinated and leading up to it, and they give Malcolm like this whole storyline, which really humanized him more because we see him as this big, huge civil rights leader. And he was just as human as the rest of us. I do like his integrity and how he was 100% for the Black community, supporting itself, defending itself, making sure that its businesses prosper. You know, some people called him a Black supremacist, but in the end there, I think he began to understand it's not about Black and white once he saw the political mechanisms that were going on and taking place in the background. Once he began to realize all of the propaganda that was going on, including some of the things that happened within the civil rights movement and how that movement benefited certain political factors. Why it's important to integrate the Black community into overall American economy. The Black community alone, I think our dollars amount to some crazy amount. It's in the billions. It's close to like $1 trillion if we all got together and worked as a community to put things to work together. You know, yes, we're talking about X. And he was saying, we're not for violence, right? We're not for violence. We are for defending ourselves, supporting ourselves. And if that takes us separating from the whole, the majority of the population, for us to remain safe and keep our families safe, let's do that.
Absolutely. That's exactly what he said. And
people misunderstand him versus Martin, who is like, let's integrate. We want to be all love with everyone.
People didn't misunderstand Malcolm. They twisted his words.
Yes, they do.
Malcolm was about self-defense, and then doing for self, right? Hey, be peaceful, obey the laws, right? Treat everybody with respect. But if they put their hands on you, you put them in the graveyard. And for that, he was said.
Notice he didn't say he never hit him that turn the other cheek shit.
Hell no.
He damn sure didn't say eye for an eye. If they put their hands on you in the ground.
Now, how's that hatred?
Never to touch me or mine ever again. My father would always tell you, I'm way more Malcolm than Martin.
Right.
Now,
it is self-defense. It is respectful. Let's talk about Martin. Y'all want to get I gave the backstory on Malcolm. One of y'all can take Martin's point of view.
So Martin grew up like in white women, and his name was really Michael before it was Martin.
You gotta say it. So white women.
But what happened over the arc, he was really following that.
Wait a minute, back up. Wait a minute. Back it up a minute. What did you just say?
Don't do that.
What'd you say about the white woman?
Don't do
Brother Martin was into white women.
What did you say?
He was into the pink toes. He was.
So now
don't do it, sure.
You're gonna have some people.
Don't do it, sure.
Now I know they're gonna be mad at me, but it's okay. It's
Because
documentation
what
out there.
that's
He was
neither here nor there is what they're going to say. That's neither here nor there.
okay. So let's continue
Right?
on with it.
Okay.
Martin was hitting so much skins out there. The FBI had videos of him knocking off white women left and right.
Yes.
Okay, all right, because he had an affection for white women who had the protection for that complexion, right? All right, so neither. Okay, however, during the arc of this young guy who believed so much into what Gandhi was preaching as far as how to approach this community, and he believed that, hey, you know what, if we just show them we're human like them, they'll treat us better. We just have to withstand and not be violent. And then it came to a point, and this is the last conversation he had with his good friend Harry Belafonte in his living room. Harry said he was despondent and he looked troubled and he was not all there. And he's like, Malcolm, what's going on with you? And he was like, I am afraid that I am integrating my people into a burning house. America has lost its way and will never be able to fully cash in on the promises that it promised. And I am integrating my people into a house that's burning. And in other words, he was regretting all of that stuff that he did to enter. We'd be better off if we pooled our money together and did for self, sounding a lot like a young minister, Malcolm X.
Mm-hmm.
And that scared the crap out of white
here.
America.
When they died, they were here.
Mm-hmm. They were. They kind of had the same ideology, because also in the movie, the Godfather of Harlem, they show this scene between Malcolm and Elijah Muhammad, where Malcolm is righteous as always. He remained righteous throughout, and he was pretty much calling out Elijah Muhammad on his own sins, to which they literally did what the Jehovah Witness do to their people when they step out of line. They excommunicated him, or where the other Muslims could not have conversations with him because he had stepped out of line. And he started to realize then that, even this is not grounded in love. Even this is not grounded in having purity of heart. So at the end, Malcolm and Martin's ideology started to merge along the same path, and they both died. It was crazy. It was that president JFK, and then Martin, and then Malcolm, I think. In that order.
No, I can't remember who died first.
Malcolm was 65.
I don't
Martin was 58. They were all 3 years apart.
3 years, okay, yeah. So JFK, then Malcolm, and then Martin after Malcolm. So yeah, they all went. But here's the thing. Malcolm hit a nerve, and then Martin in the end was hitting a nerve. I mentioned, and this is getting on the local level here, I mentioned boycotting in Bogalusa, Louisiana, because the young mayor there he got arrested last week. He's now out. But ever since he got in office, when I tell you this young man has faced more hatred publicly from not only white people, but other Black people for whatever reason. And you could tell he had an earnestness to really clean up Bogalusa. And I'm gonna be honest with you, he's too young to really have an underhanded motive. He's not like some of these old craggy politicians. He was fresh, and you could tell. You know how you can see that on a person, right? Anyway, long story short, he was left a shit show in Bogalusa from the previous administration. And of course, he is young. I'm not saying he's not making mistakes or has made mistakes. Hey, you're a mayor, you're new, you're young, you're going to make mistakes.
Absolutely.
He was arrested on one count of soliciting a prostitute and one count of like drug possession or something. And I'm like, okay, I understand that you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, but not in this home. But anyway, long story short, I put a post in this one particular Facebook group. It's a Bogalusa specific group. And I told the Black community, listen, this is, very reminiscent of civil rights movement when they tore down the character of the leaders then. If you all want respect in this town, if you all want to be heard, if you want to force change, boycott. That will force people to pick a fucking side and roll with it. And not only that, that will draw the line in the sand. Hurt the businesses that are hurting Bogalusa by not working with your mayor and your city council. Baby, I was called a racist. I was called a hate monger. I was saying I was destroying the peace, to the point this young lady that I used to have drinks with, she is fucking blocked. Because what you don't do is text my phone and tell me that I should stand down because I'm promoting hate in Bogalusa. No, what I did was I lit a fire under your ass, because if you don't understand nothing else, you understand that if your pockets are affected, you can no longer be complicit in the racism and discrimination and hate that is being propagated in Bogalusa. You will have to stand up and do something about it, or else you're going to continue to lose money. Baby, that conversation,
you just discovered right there what they do not want Black people or other people of color to discover, that if you pool your money amongst ourselves and divest from them, that we will have more economic and political power. And so as long as we share our power with them, they're happy to keep you, to keep you at a where they can control you. But if you pool your money, if you make smart money decisions, you spend your money where you're respected and trade amongst yourselves, that's a threat, because then they lose money. They're counting on you to spend your money with them.
Right, 100%, and feel entitled to it is what I learned in the comments that I was receiving. They feel entitled to your Black dollars, African American, whatever you want to call yourself, melanated skin. They feel entitled to your money, no matter how they treat you. They feel like they can treat you like shit, and that you will still spend your money. So kudos, big ups to the city of Bogalusa, because they did put a boycott list together. And wouldn't you know that the intelligence community in Bogalusa put together a boycott list that not only included Black, white businesses, but the African American businesses that work with those businesses who work to continue to suppress the people in Bogalusa for whatever reason. And I 100% agree with that. At this point, it's not about racism, but more so classism, and the powers that be keeping money in their pockets to keep it out of yours. Bogalusa say, no. I looked at the list of boycotted businesses, and when I tell you, so proud, they literally pinpointed the people who are the cause of the trouble. And it's not that many of them. It's a small handful of people that's keeping up the shit in Bogalusa, the ones that really make a lot of money. But I think they're about to learn today that those dollars that they want so bad are going to end up not in their pockets anymore. So kudos to them.
What I would love to see on the backhand is when you boycott, then have a boycott. This is the ones we're not going to deal with. These are the ones we will deal with, so that, hey, these people make great. They're doing great. They're great for the community. Spend your money here. Spend your money here. Spend your money here. Divest from them. Put your money here. So it gives people, it helps people to realize, hey, you know what? That's where I'm going to go. That's what I'm going to do. So, you know what I'm saying? So kudos on the boycott. Let's get the boycott going.
We can't do that. You saw that when it came down to this campaign. You saw the people who were behind and funding Old Front. You saw the people who poured in tremendously to back him. And yet we still show up for them. Like, I love
those that are blind and deaf. But it takes those of us who are awake to start an awakening.
That's the point. So I'm not going to always wait on the masses to do what I feel needs to be the right thing.
Absolutely.
Right.
I'm not, and lead by example is always something that you have to do. Everybody isn't meant to be a leader, and that's fine. But lead by example. And then once you continue to do so, and then there's some people who just don't get it. Now that's when you go and you say, all right, let's talk. Let me educate you. And then there are those who are gonna say, well, it don't matter what you do, they still got the best prices, and you ain't making that much money. So let's just go spend money. Shut up.
Right.
I will go spend extra with people that I know I can rely on. Again, I will still say it to you, listen to me. Look at me in my face, Bogalusa. I miss Jason Crane.
Yes, Lord.
That was my ally.
Lord. I do.
That was my ally. If I say I got an issue, Crane is always like, what we doing? He never, well, hold on now. Let's
Never.
Crane said, what we doing? Every time. If you are really our ally, you're not trying to tell the oppressed how to conduct themselves. You need to understand why we're actually being oppressed and how to resolve that issue. Try to get some understanding. And all that get understanding. Well, I saw what you were talking about, Cheryl. They were more worried about their bottom line.
Yes.
Well, wait a minute. What about us? What about our businesses? Well, where do you stand? It's simple as that. It's really as simple as that. But that's you to get back to that point though. That young man who's out there trying to make a difference, the first thing they're going to do is assassinate your character.
Oh, that's what they're doing. Yeah, trying to.
You assassinate the character, yet you ruin the credibility. He ain't got a leg to stand on. That's what they did with Martin. How many times Martin go to jail?
A lot.
And so I want to say this. This is something that was passed to me about when he figured out that the dream he had was really a nightmare, right? And then we're still taught about this dream. We talk about this dream, but this is what I want us to get through our head, all of us. Dreams are for those who have the luxury of sound sleep. It's time to wake up. It's time to work. It's time to learn. It's time to get better and do for self.
Very true.
We don't have time for dreams. Building ourselves and building our community.
Say again.
I want to.
You need to take a break.
No. I want to say. Well, we can. But I want to say this last little point to everybody who had an issue with the young man in Bogalusa, but still voted for Trump. You hypocrite. Innocent until proven guilty. At the same time, you voted for a man who's a convicted felon.
Amen.
34 felonies?
34 felonies.
And if he's good enough to be
that's a lot.
Wait, he'd have had more if Judge Cannon wasn't shielding them off for him for all those documents that he stole and was sharing with his friends in Florida. So he would have had more than 34 felonies.
Easily.
And if Merrick Garland wasn't such an incompetent nincompoop, he would have been in prison.
But I'm saying that even if it would have been, like I said, we know what it is. That's why I said, y'all, I'm not letting these folks slide no more. And I applaud you, Sheriff, for doing the same thing. I'm going to hold your feet to the fire until your ignorant ass get it. And I'm sorry again. It is what it is. I'm going to say it how it's ignorant ass get it. You are the problem. Until you can see the problem for what it is, you are the actual problem as well. Because right now, it's not that you don't get it. You choose not to get it. You scared. You worried about your bottom line. You worried about how this and this and that. What the fuck about us? Do you know sometimes being able to feed the family comes last? Are we going to make it home is the first thing. And we dealing with
right now, we are all in danger of that at this point.
Right.
You have immunity granted to people who are looking to put you in the ground, and they get a notch on their belt because they put your head to bed forever. We have to do for self. in all aspects.
This is
That's
true.
economically,
Yes.
that's
It's
politically, that's spiritually. We have to do for self. And if that
Mhm.
means we have to divest our dollars from certain individuals, if that means people who don't follow the ideology and they dance to the tune of white supremacy, if we have to divest from them, we have to do it. Because if we don't do for selves, we'll
Right.
forever keep repeating. We have not moved past the civil rights movement at all. Everything that Malcolm has
No.
said, listen to any of his videos, is still 100% true today, which means we haven't moved.
Yes, it is.
We've just been moving in a circle. When are we going to get tired enough? When are we going to start investing in self and doing for self so that we can move past this point?
I'm gonna tell you
When we
this.
can actually strip the bullshit off, like stop thinking that your trinkets and cars and all
Here's
that
the
other shit
thing.
matters.
When we
Strip all
stop
this
being
shit.
afraid, when we stop being afraid, and this is the thing about Christianity, it's contradictory in a way, because we say, oh, we serve an awesome God, but he's also a angry God, so you should fear him, when God has clearly said, if you follow religion in any form, God said this: he has not given us a spirit of fear, but one of love and of power and of a sound mind. If you're going to walk in love and you know you have a powerful mind, fear should not enter it. But I saw it on my own job today, which led me to resign. I can't tell y'all how hard of a stand that is for me to have resigned a position that I love. But the discrimination and the unethical behavior I have witnessed at that place, I cannot reside there. I can't do it. But we're going to take a break and then we'll be right back. We're going to take a real quick break. I can get me some water and we're going to come right back. All right.
Looking for great music and dope podcasts? BWNC Radio is where it's at. Black with No Chaser Radio. Download the app now. Come for the dope podcast. Stay for the dope music. Also available on Apple stores and Google Play stores. Welcome to an experience with All That Jazz Entertainment House, where you get great customer service, great establishment, great leadership, great staff. Did we mention catering, the ambiance, the vibe? All of this stems with great cocktails, great mixes, great mixologists, with a great leader. All That Jazz Entertainment House. Contact Randy Glover for booking.
All right. You all support Randy Glover with All That Jazz Catering. That's out of ATL. Her information is in the description box below if you are on Fanbase or YouTube. So we'll say that. Also, Black with No Chasers Radio. Please support it. It's free. Okay. Come get the podcast. Come get the music. It's made for Black people, for everybody. Get with it. All right. Now, let's get back into this discussion.
No Chaser. They got merch.
Oh, yeah.
Dropping. They got merch dropping. Telling you shit.
Okay.
BWNC, go check Black with No Chaser out. I'm telling you, shit.
Okay. I had to go check it out. All right. So shout out to the owner of Black with No Chaser. You know, he's our guy. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, about my job, y'all. It's real serious. It's real serious, but we'll see. Sometimes when you fight for not only your rights, but the rights of others, that shit is hard. It's hard, but I know God gonna provide. I got so many skills in me. Trust me, I'm gonna land on my feet, and we're not going broke, and we're not hungry around here. So we got to keep up the good fight. He said, what did he say? Oh, standing on business, 10 toes down. Yes, indeed. No half stepping. No, you know what? You know what?
Something wrong with Ross, man.
The purpose of a boycott, because this is the other part of the discussion that seemed to go on and on and on in that particular Facebook group, is people really don't understand boycotting. They don't understand the strategy of it. I have it in that PowerPoint near the end.
It's an economic strategy.
Right.
It's a redistribution of dollars. I absolutely agree. And that's part of what we have so much money at our disposal. We have to do for self. We have to put our money in places that benefit us as a people. And we have to learn to create spaces for us. I mean, we have to create our own jobs.
But I will say this too, black businesses, don't make it so hard to do business with you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
With the white man and be charging astronomical prices, but then don't want to have the good customer service and all the necessary equipment in order to say you actually belong in the competition. Just because you can do it, is you doing it right?
Treat people better
Just
than you would
can
treat
charge
yourself.
it. Do you really have to? Come on, man. And I'm out
Treat
here in
people
Georgia.
better.
Like I said, in Atlanta, you know what it is out here with these brunches and these black-owned
That's
restaurants.
crazy. You can't even get in.
I'm like, man, what's going on? I'm not going out there. No.
Say, man, hey, when you come to Dallas, I'll show you some good places. You can come to good black-owned places, and they treat you well out here. So, Atlanta, y'all need to get it together. Y'all and get some of y'all folks come across the border over here. Tejas.
I stay in my metro Atlanta area. I'm from Mississippi. A hole in the wall for me is a good time.
Amen. Amen. Now y'all saw the definition, right? What'd you say?
So I got a good sushi spot for you.
I had to look up the spending power of Black Americans as of today. That right there, the significance of boycotts, right? Consumer power to exert pressure on businesses or organizations for change. $1 trillion collectively.
Yep.
Spending power.
I want to stop. Ross, don't say that. Don't say that no more. I'm gonna say this because not all black businesses are created equally.
I'm a black business.
I'm
a black business.
Black businesses out here.
And I treat my people extremely well. My clients will let you know I treat my clients extremely well. So
that's what I'm saying. We cannot slap that label on all our black businesses.
How many times have you been to these white businesses?
Having the product is one thing, customer service is another. And then there are some folks who don't get it. They were never good at customer service. If you lost your job at Dell Champs back in the day, because you was talking crazy to the white lady, you probably that's probably not your strong suit. But yet they still, because I love cooking. If you know how to talk to people, it kind of matters. But it doesn't apply across the board. Don't do that, man.
Yep. I remember.
Very good. Something Killer Mike said, and he's been doing this campaign for a while, is to find and support Black businesses in your area, to find and support Black businesses all over the United States. Because because we have the internet, our demographics have shrunk. You can shop with any Black business anywhere in the United States, actually anywhere in the world, but I'm just focusing on us in this economy in the US to keep the dollars here. Killer Mike has been on this nerve. We have what is it? The bank they started a few years ago.
Yeah, it's actually named after the bank. We have in Tulsa. Actually,
yeah, we have Black-owned banks. We have everything. Black-owned media companies. What is that for?
It was something with Greenville, right? What was it?
No, I'm about to look it up.
It's 3 streets named in Tulsa. They from Tulsa.
Yep.
And it's 3 streets.
Greenwood.
Greenwood.
Yeah, Greenwood. I think the other one's like Apple, and I can't. Other like Pine, but it's something like. But the streets.
They get absolutely right.
And that's where the Gap band come from.
Yep.
Yeah,
and but now
I have a Greenwood account. I got on that list, and it took me a minute, but I got me, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I love Greenwood.
Now check this out, guys.
I signed up, but I haven't heard anything yet, and I signed up.
It takes a little time. Because it's a long list.
So check this out, guys. Look, just because we are promoting Black businesses doesn't mean you don't do your due diligence on the business. You can't be like you can't like the Tulsa Real Estate Fund that went defunct because the person who opened it up took all the money and ran. Jay, right? So do your due diligence. Just because they skin folk don't mean they kin folk. So do your due diligence. You heard it here first. Don't just give them pass because they look like us or look like Black or brown people of color or whatever. Hey, Don't give them a pass. Do your due diligence.
Yeah.
Still. Okay. So
Because that's the catch-22. We have to still
Mhm.
vet everyone, unfortunately.
absolutely.
Okay, I
We
got
have
it.
bad apples in all communities. So yeah,
So
go ahead.
Greenwood,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Archer, and Pinewood.
Mhm.
Okay.
I think is what it is. Yeah. Greenwood, Archer, and Pine Band. Those were the name of the streets in Tulsa.
Mhm.
So GAP, Gap.
Yeah.
Gap, got it. GAP, and I need to make put a infographic together for that. And again, we understand we have allies in all ethnic groups and all walks of life, so we're not just relegating it to our community. Because honestly, if we're looking at it the way we're looking at it, we really got to start pooling our dollars together. Because the machine that is literally gobbling us alive in front of our faces and just doing blatant shit, disregarding the law, disregarding the Constitution, disregarding First Amendment rights. Our Supreme Court is the least supreme in the land now. The power that and respect that it did hold, it's also the ring. Like I'm like, what?
American.
You know what?
American.
I'm going to say the opposite.
It's
I'm going to
American
say,
shit.
for
Uh-huh.
me, I'm going to say within our community, because no one raises a finger when in Koreatown, we have Koreans doing business with Koreans, right? You don't
Nobody
have,
says anything.
right, because what they're
Mhm.
doing is they're building economic base by which now we have a base and we can start doing business with other groups. And now
Very true.
we have judges, we have police officers, we have other people in our communities that look like us and deal with us. Now we can start affecting regional and then state and then national
Mhm.
I'm
politics.
glad you said something about that
It
word. Though. I want
begins
to address something.
with
I want to address something.
right.
You said community. Let's
Absolutely.
be clear, people. Your community doesn't have to be 100% black.
Right.
Y'all, I'm gonna talk to you on the people level. Fuck
Mhm.
with who fuck with you. Okay, that's the most simple way to put it. So
Mhm.
the people who actually bring businesses into your community, you rock with them. You
Right.
spend with them. If their beliefs and everything align with you, that's where you're at. Because here's the thing:
Mhm.
if they actually rock with you, they'll be where you're at. They're not gonna make it hard for you to get to them. The ones who take the business and want to go move out, want to go be around others, they want their money. They don't really want your money. But at the same
No.
time, they ain't gonna turn your money down either. But they don't
Right.
believe what you believe. They don't feel what you feel. So if you gotta actually make a trip to go and spend with these people, 9 times out of 10, they ain't your folk. That's not your community.
Mhm.
So
I'm gonna say
I
this
love
too.
that you can rock with who's in your streets, who's in your neighborhoods, your barbershops, your grocery
Mhm.
stores, your gas stations, any local businesses,
Mhm.
real estate agents, your tax people,
Mhm.
come on, like it's so many people within that you can help empower by spending and circulating that dollar in the black community. That dollar, the black dollar, gets circulated everywhere else before it comes back to our own.
Which is
Mhm.
crazy. That's bananas. And I'm
Insane.
going to
Need-
say this too. Not all skin folk or kinfolk, and our communities
Mhm.
are so much bigger than just the regional areas that we live in. I have friends all
Mhm.
over. I can even say the world at this point because I've met so many
Mhm.
people that I've built connections with in different countries, as well as here in America, of all ethnic groups. And
Yep.
I've learned that people who think like me, who are spiritually ascending, who walk in love, and you can feel the difference and see the difference. Those are my people. I've been on Facebook for 20 years, and I can post something on Facebook today and check my insights and see that 500 people saw it, but only 10 people liked it.
Amen.
That's not my
That's
community anymore. That is
Amen.
not my community anymore. And I realize that. And that's why another reason why I'm transitioning off. It ain't all about Fuckerberg. It's about fuck some of y'all who looking and watching and not supporting. Because it
Everybody
don't
watch.
take but a second to click. You watching, but you're not supporting. That's another reason I'm about to come off there.
Everybody
so that's my
watching. They love watching.
everybody
They
watching.
love talking. But is you gonna really show up? Is you gonna really support? That's why I said
Right.
I learned this. I learned from this game now. People will be surprised. I actually have been doing podcasting. Like I started with In Zone, and we started way back in 2012. That's when we were just strictly on internet radio and things like that, we evolved into where we're at now in a whole nother ballgame. But I learned then, because I had a product, everybody ain't gonna support you. And that's because they know you for who you used to be and not who you are and are trying to become, who you're evolving into. And so they'll constantly want to hold you down and say, this is who you are. You don't know me. You ain't seen me, ain't talked to me in 15, 20, 30 years.
Right.
Who I was back then as a 10-year-old knucklehead, 15-year-old kid. I'm not him. The basis of who I am is cool, but I've evolved. The man that I've turned into, that I've become, I'm so much more than my mistakes. I'm so much bigger than my past. And I'd be damned if I'm gonna let anybody else hold me down to that.
Right.
So I'm not here to appease you. You're not my audience. My audience is the one who's going to actually give me a fair shot, see what we're doing, hear what we're saying, take heed to it, spread the word. Hey, man, they got something going over there. That's my audience. Outside of that, I could give a damn about you. I don't care if we know each other, went to school with each other, went to church with each other. You do you, I do me. You don't know me, though. Please don't get that confused. You knew me, you don't know me.
Right.
Yep.
And it's what Ross just said. People don't understand the word growth. They don't. They try to keep you in a box always because they haven't ever elevated past when they knew you. They're still there. They're still in that box that they thought you were going to stay in, but you happen to climb out of it. And now you're doing better. You're elevating. You're trying to help other people. That's the whole point of this, is to help other people. Walk in love with God, yourself, and others. No matter what you have gone through in your life, divorce hit you, had some other life-changing event hit you that knocked you on your ass, and now you got to start over from experience. That's what this is for. It's to help you move forward. And if people are still saying, well, I remember when, because your mentality is stuck back there. Okay? And I get that. Thank you. Shout out to Ross. We got to give him a big shout out. Thank you for the support always. He said he's not a hostile maniac anymore. He's learned peace.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that growth. You know what I'm saying? It's all about growth. It's all about growth. You know what I'm saying?
Really
hey, brother Malcolm was pimping women and all that, and then he grew into the man that we loved and the one who actually died protecting Black people.
Hey, man.
He really did. He gave his life for that.
We all make mistakes. We all make good and bad decisions. And for every time that I as a human being make a bad decision, you know what I'm saying? If you were able to hold, if people were able to hold that against you, do you know we wouldn't go nowhere in life?
Sure wouldn't.
Like if people could really hold you for it, because not all of us, I don't care how prominent you are, everybody has made bad decisions more than once. Now, if you continuously make bad decisions consistently, like
there's no growth.
I don't know, maybe the guy who's just been elected president, then your character needs to be called into question. But I mean,
he's getting rewarded for those bad decisions.
42 for something that I did back at 17.
Yeah.
I ain't made that bad decision since then. Stop trying to put that on. You know what? You'll meet a lot of people that, or people from your past. This is how you know who they are. Every time they see you, that's what they bring up. Right. Well, you remember when you got caught slipping, you did it. Why is it every time you see me, that's what you want to bring up? You don't have no other memories of me. So that's your perspective. That's how you see me. And if that's how you see me, you don't need to see me no more. Move.
Right.
I can fix that.
I've had that happen to me recently at the beginning of the year, hanging out with some friends, and this one friend that comes around occasionally, or this one acquaintance that comes around occasionally. So, remember when you did XYZ back in 2015? First of all, half of that fucking shit you just said is a complete rumor.
Man.
But it shows me who you are if you brought that up.
Let's go ahead and put this out here.
Right.
Bogalusa, Louisiana. I time there. Majority of anything that you probably heard is bullshit. I'm just gonna go and tell you that right now. The shit I heard that came up by me after I left. I heard I had babies on the way. I ain't touched nan woman up in. I ain't touched nobody. I done heard I had babies on the way. I got sexual assault cases on him because he done touched such and such. And she finna put them charges on. That's why he gone. I done heard all kinds of wild stuff. Hey man, y'all got to calm down, bro.
Yeah, come on.
If you don't know me, just say so.
Well, what that basically means is that you have garnered rent-free space in their imagination.
Right.
Most of it,
Stay
I like
there,
if
you
it
know,
was
in their
true, I like it.
imagination.
If it was true, I'd be walking around my chest out for some of it because I ain't gonna lie, I heard some shit. And I was like, wait, me? I did that? Did I?
Oh yeah,
No,
apparently I am a madam. I'm a pimp. I had girlfriends and boyfriends. I got both. Like
I
was
fucking
like the
everything
fucking done one, right? What you say?
I was told I was fucking everything moving. If she had it, you know
Oh,
what I'm
me
saying?
too.
If they was throwing it, I'm catching it.
That's right.
That's
That's
it.
it.
But he played like he was good and everything like this. He was up there fucking everything. No,
I
sorry.
must not be big time enough yet because I haven't heard any rumors about myself yet. But
You ain't been
Well,
involved.
you're in Dallas. You're in
Yeah.
Dallas. You're in a big metropolitan area where people mind their fucking business and pay their bills. Bogalusa don't have enough going on.
And don't get me wrong, bro. I love Bo, man. Some folks out there, man. I still to this day, I go back to Bo just to make sure I check in my people.
I rise with a lot of people in Bo. A lot. I ain't gonna even lie. I love them. But look, we're coming up on time. We're coming up on the end of the show. I did mention Brookhaven, Mississippi, but we do have some racial tensions going on in my hometown up there as well.
Absolutely.
And you all keep them in prayer because this current case going on there where a young man, a FedEx driver, a black FedEx driver, was pretty much almost killed by some local citizens up there who apparently thought he was not supposed to be in the neighborhood that he was in, even though he was working. And that's a whole, we may have to bring it up in another show just because
we will.
It's a lot with that too. It's a lot with that too.
They try to do him like they did Ahmaud Arbery. They tried that. They tried, and they actually chased him. There's bullet holes. I mean, it's so bad what the police work was. When he reported it, the officer had him come out there and pick up the bullet casings off the ground himself, the victim. I mean, it is so bad. And it will reflect on leadership. I just, whether I know the police chief because he related to me in some kind of way, but I'm gonna tell the truth. Truth is, it reflects on leadership when you have a department that keeps
say on remember the Titans. Attitude reflects leadership.
Leadership, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's that. But we got to bring that up on another show. Listen, you can catch us on BWNC Radio tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Is it? 7 a.m. Central Standard Time, 8 a.m.
Eastern.
8 a.m. Eastern. We will be on there. Please catch us. It's free to download the app. Please support Black with No Chasers and Black with No Chasers radio station. We're going to post this episode to all other streaming platforms on Thursday morning. So wherever you get your podcast, we are there. On top of that, please consider donating at Spotify. It's going to be in the link underneath every single episode. You can also Cash App me because I'm going to start putting my Cash App everywhere. Because at this point, I won't have a job after February 3rd unless I get one real quick, fast, and in a hurry. I'm about to start freelancing like a motherfucker. So y'all look for that.
Your 6 is on the way.
Yes. So here we go. We got to get into our businesses. I got quite a few. God bless y'all. Thank you all for listening. What you got to say, fellas, before we end these last few minutes here?
Do for self. Do for self. Get your business together. Mm-hmm. Learn about finances for yourself. And if you don't have a will or a trust to pass it on to the next generation, that's paramount. If you have any questions, reach out to us. We'll direct you in the best way we know. And if we don't know, we'll give you to some professionals who do.
Hey, what's that commercial where the guy's with his grandson or something like that, and they restore the car and he pats on the shoulder and said, "When I'm gone, it's all yours." And the dude walks across the street, doesn't count. He's serious about that. That doesn't count. For real. But Jayhawk said, get your will and trust. Get your paperwork in order. Black.
Absolutely.
Because that's a lot of stuff we have lost because we ain't have our shit together. We just
Yeah,
left
I keep hearing you.
anybody else. We done lost land, houses, all kinds of stuff
Mhm.
because we didn't have our shit together. Take that seriously.
Mm.
I will say this, like I said, appreciate y'all for another great show. Thursday night, 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central. Dylan's Dive Bar. The refills are out. Telling you now, some of her favorite episodes will be running, and she will be back full speed in March. So y'all stay tuned. I Am Woe Media Group is, and then y'all pray for me. I Am Woe Podcast is got a little bit of a setback, but I ain't gonna let it start me.
Well, let me know if you want me to come rock with you over there for a little while. I'll
Well,
come hang out at the IMO podcast. I got you. I'll come hang out. Let me know. We'll chop it up.
Y'all just don't know. I'm rocking, she rolling. Boy, I swear to God, that's my dog.
That part. That part. Let me know. Let me know. All right. Love y'all. We are out until the next show, which will be next week, unless something happens. We'll keep y'all posted. God bless. See y'all later.
Unless we get deported or something.
Deportation or no?